students, welcome to Sri Siddh Vidyapith School. I hope you are all doing good and staying safe from this COVID-19. So students, in this chapter, The Merchant of Venice, today we are going to discuss the question and answers of this chapter. In the last two videos, we read the chapter. In that chapter, हमने पढ़ा कि शाइलॉक एक क्रूअल मनी लेंडर के बारे में और एक काइंड हार्टेड मर्चेंट एंटोनियो के बारे में कैसे शाइलॉक लोगों को मनी लोन पे देता था और बहुत ज़्यादा इंटरेस्ट लेता था वाइल टेकिंग बैक मनी फ्रॉम देम, और एंटोनियो कैसे एक काइंड हार्टेड पर्सन है जो अपने फ्रेंड को 3 डेकेड्स के लिए अपना लाइफ को वो दाव पे रखता है। वो अपने लाइफ को सैक्रिफाइस करने के लिए रेडी हो जाता है शाइलॉक को, जो कि वो बॉन्ड में बोलता है अगर तुम सही टाइम पे पैसा रिटर्न नहीं कर पाए तो तुम्हें अपने बॉडी से 1 पाउंड फ्लैश देना पड़ेगा। जब वो पैसा नहीं दे पाता तो उसे जब लास्ट डेट आता है हियरिंग वाला, तो उसके तरफ से पोर्शिया, उसकी फ्रेंड की वाइफ, बसिनो की वाइफ पोर्शिया उसके लिए डिफेंस करती है। वो मेंस के कपड़ों में आकर उसके लिए लड़ती है और बोलती है कि उस बॉन्ड में, शाइलॉक को बोलती है कि तुमने तो बॉन्ड में सिर्फ 1 पाउंड फ्लैश मांगा है और उसमें तुमने कहीं भी 1 बूंद ब्लड का मेंशन नहीं किया। अगर तुम्हें एंटोनियो के बॉडी से फ्लैश लेना है तो तुम्हें 1 ड्रॉप ब्लड भी नहीं गिरना चाहिए। अगर तुमने 1 ड्रॉप ब्लड गिराया तो तुम्हारा जो भी मतलब उसका जो वेल्थ है, एसेट्स है, वो सब स्टेट का हो जाएगा। तो जैसे कि ये तो इम्पॉसिबल है कि बिना ब्लड गिरे किसी के बॉडी से फ्लैश लेना, तो इसमें शाइलॉक हार जाता है और पूरा जो वेल्थ है वो स्टेट को दे देता है, मतलब स्टेट को ले लेता है, वो सब लॉ के अंडर में आ जाता है। तो अब इससे एंटोनियो की जान बच गई। तो इस पोर्शिया को सारा क्रेडिट जाता है कि कैसे वो एंटोनियो के लिए लड़ी, एकदम इंटेलिजेंस है। तो आज हम लोग उसका क्वेश्चन आंसर सॉल्व करेंगे। लेट्स स्टार्ट। So students, use your prescribed textbooks for better understanding. See on page number 21 right below the story, reading comprehension. We're gonna start. Answer these questions within 20 words each. Who was Antonio? Antonio was a young merchant in the city of Venice. What was Shylock's occupation? Shylock was a usurer who lent money at high rates of interest to local merchants in Venice. Where did Portia live? Portia lived at Belmont, a place near Venice. Who was Bolero? Bolero was a counselor of law and Portia's relative. Move on to next one. So start. Answer the questions in 30 to 40 words each. How can we say that Antonio was a good friend? Antonio was a good friend because although he did not have money to help Basino, he borrowed the 3,000 ducats from his arch enemy Shylock. He signed the bond drawn up by Shylock, putting his own life in danger for his friend's sake. How can we say that Bolero was a clever lawyer? Give examples from the story. Bolero was a clever lawyer as he sent a letter to Portia advising her how to handle the case of Antonio. On his advice, Portia was able to cleverly turn the tables against Shylock and save Antonio. Bolero cleverly feigned sickness and requested the Duke to permit Portia, a young lawyer, to handle the case in his place. Do you think Portia loved Basino? Give reasons for your answer. Portia loved Basino because first she made certain that they were married before he set out for Venice so that he would get a legal right to her money. Second, she approached Bolero for advice and help so that she could go to Venice, argue in Antonio's defense and save her husband's dear friend from the clutches of the wicked Shylock. She was able to cleverly save Antonio. Why do you think Shylock was so eager to cut off Antonio's flesh? I think Shylock was so eager to cut off a pound of Antonio's flesh because he hated the merchant and wanted to put an end to him. Antonio had always been a thorn in his flesh because he disliked the Jew's mean ways and his heartedness. So Shylock must have thought it was a good opportunity to pay back Antonio for his hatred when the merchant came to him for a loan of 3,000 ducats to help his friend. Move on to next one. Answer these questions in 80 to 100 words each. So students, I request you to do this of your own. I have given you the solutions. Here the question, answer number 1, answer number 2 and answer number 3. So you write it down in your note copy. Move on to fourth one. Read the sentences and answer the question that follow. I will sign this bond. Who said this and to whom? Antonio said this to Shylock. What was the bond? The bond was that if Antonio did not repay the money by a certain day, he would forfeit a pound of flesh to be cut off from any part of his body that Shylock pleased. What would have happened if he had not signed the bond? If Antonio would not have signed the bond, Shylock would not have lent him the 3,000 ducats and Basino would not have been able to go to Belmont and marry Portia. Second, wait a little, there is something else. Who said this? Portia, who was in the disguise of a young lawyer, said this. What was the something else? The something else was the bond did not give Shylock any drop of blood. The bond expressly said a pound of flesh. Did it affect the court case? It affected the court case because it was impossible for Shylock to cut off the pound of flesh without shedding some of Antonio's blood. So Antonio's life was saved as it was flesh and not the blood that was named in the bond. So students, here are the solutions for your question and answers, The Merchant of Venice. So I request you to please note it down in your class note copy. If you have any doubts regarding this chapter, you can ask me. I am going to clear it out in the next video. Thank you.